Hi, welcome back to another episode of Professional Roundtable. Today, we're so privileged to have our guest speaker with us, Lara, who will be joining us today, who has a really tremendously interesting career path ever since she has pursued her education in the law, getting a law degree, passing the bar exam, and ultimately ending in a career that is very different from where she started. And we're excited to hear about her story and her pathway there. Before we begin today, we would like to introduce to you what we do as Arrows Education. Arrows Education, we are an international uh, education consultancy and agency. What we do is we help you realize your dream of studying abroad. And if you ever have a dream of studying in any parts of the world, in Europe, in the United States, Canada, Australia, you name it, we work with over 2,500 universities and institutions across the globe, serving in more than 30 over countries to help you find the best place that you can start your higher education in a prestigious institution. Uh, the way we do this is we work closely with you. We consult you on your education and on your achievement in your exams and in your transcripts. And with all this information, we use a sophisticated algorithm to help you figure out what are the best institution there is for you in your pursuit of your career path as well. And we will help you with all applications into universities, visa application, as well as your travel until you settle down in those universities of your dream. And so, if this is something that you want and you would love to start on your dream of studying abroad, please do not hesitate to reach out to us on all our social media, as well as our WhatsApp number. Reach out to us and we'll have a consultant reach out to you as soon as we can, and we will kickstart this wonderful journey. Without further ado, I would love to welcome Lara, who joins us today and kicks off this wonderful session of Professional Roundtable. Lara, hi, welcome.
Hi. Good morning. Good evening.
Yeah, it's practically morning where you are right now. Yeah,
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 it
and
is.
so yeah. So yeah, to start to kick us off, maybe Lara, would you briefly introduce yourself and what you're doing now? And yeah, what's interesting?
Okay. Good morning again. My name is Lara. Just as he has rightly said, I started. I had my degree in law when I was back home in Nigeria, and from there, I started my family. From there, after a while, I started back. I said I wanted to start working again. I got a job at the Canadian High Commission in Lagos. I was there for about 8 years. Then after
Mm,
that, my children were growing at the same rate, and I was like, wow, my kids need to study. Well, maybe outside the country, so we up and left Nigeria for Canada, and I've been there in Canada since 2015. When I got to Canada, I was like, okay, what will I do with my life? Will I go back to school? Because here in Canada, you need certification for everything. You need you need to start, you have to work, of course, just like
mm,
every other place. And I just said, okay, what will I do with my life? Having not practiced law, you know. And I said, okay, let me do something else that will keep I needed my time to be flexible just because my kids were still young and my husband was still in Nigeria. Okay, I said, okay, let me do nursing. So that was how my nursing journey started. So I work as a nurse here, even though I didn't my first degree was not in law.
yeah, thank you for the brief introduction. Maybe I'll hand this over to Dr. Posadi, yeah, to help us interview Lara on this very interesting career path that she has chosen.
Okay, thank you very much, Josh. It's my pleasure to put my dear friend on the hot seat this evening. Yeah, so I think 35 years now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we went to university together, and yeah, so our family is absolutely a friend of the family. So I know the journey. So the whole idea is for us to learn from her experience, not only for school leavers who are trying to maybe go to university, but for adults like us who may be faced with changing careers. I mean, very late in life. So I mean that was 2015 was just yesterday for us. And I mean we're like already grown with children,
Yeah.
and then you're starting life like starting all over again with grade 12. It's challenging, and many people always feel like, no, I'm too old to start. I always tell them, no, you can't be too old to start anything. The only thing you need is courage and determination, and you can become whatever you want to become. So for someone from law to become a nurse at, I mean, over 40, that's a challenging step to take. So thank you very much for joining us and for sharing your experience. So I'm going to start from law. uh, was it a personal, passion for you, or was there a family influence that led to law? And what was your experience like then? And yeah.
Thank you. I think doing law for me was more of a maybe peer pressure. It wasn't because I was this kind of young lady that I can't say that I was very eloquent. I didn't have so much of self esteem. If I look back, I think I didn't have all that. And for you to be able to thrive in that kind of career, you need to have a lot of courage. You need to have a lot of, and I was young as well, self esteem. So I lacked in, but I feel I did lack in that. Well, that's another story for another time. So that was how I got myself into law because I actually got my admission to study English. Second year, I found my okay, you could do it. Why not try law? So I that was how I stumbled into law. And so not that I set out to become a lawyer. No, 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 no. I didn't have a lawyer in my family actually. It just
Okay, thank you very much for maybe for those who are listening, and for Josh can also catch that line. Actually, the pressure is always there. Those years,
mm,
I think it's still
Mm,
there now. When you are
mm,
growing up and you are a brilliant student, if you are good with the sciences, everybody thinks you should be a medical doctor. If you are good with the arts, they think you should be a lawyer. Yeah, things like that happen. So many people ended up in some of those professions, or studied some of those courses. But then later in life, you find your passion, and then you can go ahead. So you worked briefly as a lawyer immediately after graduation. Is that
yeah,
correct? Can you
very
share
true.
your experience at the time, I mean, considering the fact that it wasn't something that you go after by yourself? How was that experience working as a lawyer that short time?
Yeah, thank you. So I think my first the time the part of my journey that actually started preparing me for that career was when I was in the law school. It was intensive. Maybe it was then that I felt like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be a lawyer. I love the kind of pressure they put on us then. So at least I had a little bit more that I took to my first year because after in Nigeria, after you finish your degree, you when you go to law school, you still have practicum to do, internship at law firms. So I did a little bit of that. I think we had about 3 months, a couple of months that you needed to practice in a law firm, just as a junior counsel. And after that, during my youth service, of course, I was posted to a law firm. I was there for a whole year. So that was all I and I think I must have did that for a year and a half. So that was my experience in in the solicitor's firm. So nothing more. I didn't do much after that. So I think I preferred more of the time when I was in the office than going to speak in front of people. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So, from going from law now to Canadian Embassy administrative work there, what was the transition like? What what did you take from law in there, or on what qualification were you accepted to work there in the administrative department?
Uh, yeah, thank you. If I can remember, I okay, after I practiced a year and a half in the law firm in Nigeria doing my youth service, and shortly after then I got married. So with marriage came pregnancy and everything. So I stayed back home taking care of my kids. Not of course people, some other people will pick up and start go back to work, but I still stayed back. Of course, I had my children. They kind of maybe my first and second in some kind of good course, you know. And after a while, I had lost track of law a little bit. Then came the opportunity of the High Commission. So it was more of, okay, what degree do you have? They didn't used to discriminate at the time. I just put my resume together, and that was why I was accepted. And I was accepted. I was doing administrative work, which was even not close to law at all. We will just attend to people with visas that needed visas rather, and we'll process the application, and but maybe a little bit of my training to be able to speak up with people. Yeah, all of it adds up. And I, of course, you have to talk to people, you have to relate with people, you have to be able to speak. And also I was gathering my experience even in one-on-one relationships, interpersonal skills, a lot of skills that I got along the line. Yeah, so that was how I got myself into the High Commission in Lagos.
Okay, thank you very much. So before I hand over to Joash to continue, I want to take this last question. Usually, when people are leaving the country, um, it's a long process. It takes a lot of planning. So, was nursing already something that came to mind before you left for Canada, or was it when you got there that you discovered that this would be the right thing to do? And then that move itself, how were your expectations different from the reality you met on ground when you go to Canada?
Nursing was not even in it was not in view for me. I remember when we were young, if nursing was not something that people will go into. People will look down on you, say you're a nurse. In those days, now it's hot cake. So when I got to Canada, I was like, okay, how would I? Because my husband was not around. He was still coming from Nigeria to visit us once in a while, because he still held a job back home in Nigeria. So I needed to, like, okay, how do I balance the time? How do I manage my family, go and work at the same time? 8 to 5 job may not cut it because I still needed to stay home to take care of my kids at the time. Okay, so I like, okay, what would give me flexibility? So it was more of the flexibility that took me into nursing. That, okay, you can work at any time. You can either work in the evening or in the morning or overnight. That was what took me into nursing.
Okay. So,
Wow. So yeah.
yeah,
So it sounds like, say that again.
the second question, reality expectation. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What was that difference between reality and expectation? We have this meme very popular on the internet where you have your expectation, everything is look very beautiful and nice, but reality often falls short of that, or maybe it fits into the expectation, right? So what was that like for you?
So the reality of nursing, of going to
Hmm.
do nurse,
No, the
uh,
reality of arriving in Canada, like what you're going into Canada with a bit of an expectation. What was the reality that hits you?
Well, like I said, we set out to because of the kids. So I just knew that okay, I needed to be there. So that was the main goal. Okay, be with your family, try and watch these children thrive. So that was the goal. That was the expectation that I need to be there for my kids since my husband was not there. Um, at the time that we got here, I don't think getting a job, maybe yes, was maybe slightly easier, but these days it's getting really tough. So
Mm,
I just knew that I needed to do something to be able to get into the streams of what was going on here. So I didn't really look for work like that. I just went. I knew but I knew in my heart that I need to go to school. I was so eager to go to school to study something
mm,
between social work or nursing for me. That was, but I really wanted to go back to school because it's been long since I went to school. So it was that drive that I want to study something. I want to study something that took me to nursing.
yeah, yeah. So you already talked about like the reason why you get into nursing just now. It was really the flexibility that of work time that it offers you, so that you can be both a career woman and a mom, and that's usually very difficult to juggle. I wouldn't understand that as a man, but I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure a lot of women who have children, who is a full time mom and a full time career woman would resonate with you. um, so when you get into that role, what type of training or education that you have to have in order to get into nursing, right? Like when you say you really were looking forward to study, what would you what kind of training that did you get from there, or education
yeah,
that you get?
yeah. So when I came, so to for me to be able to achieve this, I had to look for schools around the house, and of course there are good schools here in Calgary. I live here in Calgary. I decided to go to Woe Valley College to start because I was like, maybe I was skeptical about my ability. I haven't stayed away from school for so long. How will I be able to do it? Will I be able to manage? Do I even know anything? What if I get there? I'm the oldest in class. I won't want that, But I said, okay, you know what? Let's even go there. Let's even start. So at that time, they used to take one on. You could go there and ask, "What's up? What can I get? Is it possible for me to get into this school?" So I just went there and I spoke to somebody, and they were quite willing and eager. And I said, "Why not?" And I said, "You know what? Take it a notch back." I'm a woman of a certain age. I will always say, "Is it possible for me to just start, in bits and pieces?" I said, "Oh yeah, we have a lot of people that school and work. So even if you're working, you can still school." And I said, okay, let me start. So that was how I took my first step to start my nursing career. So I did that at
Mm,
Bow Valley College.
yeah. So you basically you just enter in like just go to a university or a college, or just consult any agency that say that, hey, I want to study nursing, and based on your need, right? Because in was you were in that stage where you kind of need to juggle between work and study, so that they were able to cater to your lifestyle in order to help you to learn, right?
Yes,
So that was the kind of process that it took you. That's
yes,
really awesome to hear. And that's usually how higher education institution like this helps us to learn. And there's a lot of great opportunity that you can explore out there. And Arrow's education, it's striving to help our students to be able to make adjustments and apply to courses that can make adjustments according to their lifestyle and their need. And so again, don't feel free to reach out to us, and our consultants will be there to help you, and cater to your need at your life, uh, at your lifestyle right now. And you have already gone into it a little bit, Lara. That you're asking questions to the receptionist, saying that, hey, you're already thinking through the process where, hey, I'm a bit older right now. and learning is going to be different, right? So,
Yeah.
so how did you navigate those training process, like knowing that you're a bit more mature than other people in the class?
Yeah, so as an adult student, I found myself in the midst of other adult students. So in that class, it was very interesting because we had people of different age groups. I was glad when I
Oh,
even found out that there were people even that were older than me in the class. I felt a lot relaxed. I felt very happy that I was the only one, And of course, I saw people that were young enough to pass as a kid to me. So, and one thing I did at that time was that, I took one class. I did anatomy. That was my first class. Not that I could not take all at the same time, but I said, okay, you know what? Let me just dip a toe in the water. Let me see how I will manage. If I will float or I will drown in that. So I took a class one class at a time. So when I did my anatomy and I passed, I said, wow, you can do it, girl. So, and I said, okay. The second time, I said, okay, I'm going to take two classes. Now that let me see again how I do. And that was how I did the two classes. And I did well again. Then I did three classes, and that was how I got through, you know, doing it.
amazing. So there is a gradual process, and you're not, you know, like a lot of us starting new things is always exciting, and we're so excited to get like I'm going to do like four things at one time. But your strategy was more okay. Okay, I know I probably will have a bit more hard time learning, and I'm doing this gradually and stepping up the difficulty as I see fit. Right. So that's a good strategy to have.
Permit me to add to that, just to ask. Normally, the college program will take 2 years. So, taking
Yes.
it one course at a time, the way you did, how long did it take you to finish the program, which should have been 2 years? That is one. Secondly, most adults, when they are going through these kind of programs, we always complain, especially at the beginning, that they felt like their head was going to burst, like, headache every day, just reading. Sometimes they feel like they are just going to faint. Yeah. Did you have that kind of feeling? Yeah. So those are the two questions.
Thank you. Like I said, there were people my age group, kind of age group, and people with raising families, also taking care of their kids. It was easy for us, for me to, what, hey, I'm new in this thing. Oh, you're also new in this thing. Can we come together? Can we work together? And that was how we're able to navigate. We're able to help one another in, doing, maybe doing extras, reading together, asking ourselves questions, reminding ourselves to keep up with the assignments, which was quite a lot. It was collaboration that took me through. You have to collaborate with other people. You're not just going to be alone. You're going to be working with other people who have even greater challenges than you have. And you're like, oh, you are here, so they encourage you, you encourage them. So that was how we were able to work together to get the class done. And so yeah, you asked if I was yeah, I think it took me about 3 years. 3 years, because after, at the initial stage, it's easy for you to just to pace yourself. But after a while, you just have to do all the classes like that, bam, bam, bam. You are no longer allowed to just space it out. Of course, by that time, I'd grown. My capacity to, to be all that had grown. So I didn't take more than 3 years to do that. So by 2019, I was done. I didn't start until I didn't start until 2016, late 2016. So by 2019 December, I'd already written my licensing exam.
Okay. Any
Right.
headaches? I said any headaches while you
Oh,
when you sleep.
oh yes, of course. Any anxiety? Yes, anxiety. I'm very, yeah. I remember, every time when they say there's an exam, I won't be able to sleep all night. I will feel anxious. I'm like, what on earth is this? I wrote the bar exams. Bar exam in Nigeria was, I don't think there's every other. I had to keep reminding myself, if you could scale through the bar exam and you could pass, then what is this nursing? Because when you're writing the bar exam, they tell you there's an ambulance waiting for you to pick you up. So if you faint writing that exam, you just be picked up, you take it to the hospital. So what is this exam? This hello, this course that I'm doing that I'm you know. So I kept reminding myself that you've done this before, but that didn't stop the anxiety. Every time we're having an exam, I'm like, oh my god, anxiety usually sets in.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think exam is more like a modern day nightmare for everyone. Until today, even though I don't have to study anymore, my nightmare would still be, hey, I'm late for exam, you know. So
Never say never.
yeah, cool, cool. I appreciate your insight into studying as a mature adult and a path that you took in, right? The Chinese has a saying, if nobody will be a beggar if everybody has the power of the hindsight. Which means if you know things earlier, right, then you will be able to prepare for things. So maybe share some of your
Yes.
wisdom with somebody who's preparing to go into nursing, or planning to taking some of this very drastic change in career like yours. What would be something that you can share with them, or to remind them so that they will not repeat your mistake, right?
The first thing I will advise is that, you know what, if you want to do it, yeah, encourage yourself. Okay, then put one step after. Just take a step at a time.
Mm,
Just put one step at a go, and that's how you keep going. Okay, you don't think that, oh, everything's going to fall on your lap. You're going to just boom. No, just start one step at a time. Take that baby step
mm,
forward. So that is what helped me. I took it, and I was able to do it. Then never think you are the only one. You are the only one where you are at. Several other people are also there trying to navigate, trying to determine, they're trying to think, or they're trying to decipher, they're trying to do a lot of things just as you are. So all you have to do is just try and connect with people. You can never be alone in your journey in life. Connect with other people, ask questions, you know and see, how who can help you, who is out there to help you. Then particularly when you come to this side of the world, don't think that you cannot associate with some group of people. No, you can associate with anyone who is willing to help you, and there are always people that are willing to help you.
mm,
So bring yourself down, ask questions, hang out with people of like mind.
mm,
And another thing that helped me during the school is to take my study out of the house, because maybe studying from the home in the home for me could be very distracting to me. I will be minding other things that I'm not supposed. So I always take myself to the library. I'm always at the library, reading. And then when you get to the library, you see find other people reading. They will inspire you. Even if you sleep, you feel ashamed of yourself sleeping. So just stay there and just look at your book and keep looking and keep looking.
mm.
Ask questions. People have gone ahead of you doing the same thing. So why can't you ask them? So if they could do it, you can also do it.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. I'm really really encouraged, and I'm amazed by how you stay motivated the entire way while you're doing this, right? But I still want to cast a little bit of doubt on your own journey. Like, was there any moment that you were thinking like, man, maybe I'm not cut out for this, or maybe I'm it's just be a little beyond my ability and I feel like quitting. Was there any moment like that that you have, and how do you deal with that?
Oh yes. I think it was was it the last practicum? Because in the nursing journey, you'll be taken to the hospital to do practicum, hands on, and everything. And this particular practicum, I don't know, I wasn't working well with the profession, the nurses that were on ground. So they kept reporting me. And there was a day I was just asked to drop it. And I was like, oh my goodness, I've gone this far. And that day I wept. I wept. I was so discouraged. And I felt annoyed that I wept about just this last one. I was very discouraged. But then, you know what? I was asked to do it the second time, and but this time I had a new preceptor. I was in a newer environment, and when I started that particular practicum, I went to the instructor, the practice preceptor. I said, I already did this thing once. And she said, no, there's nothing wrong with you. She kept encouraging me. Oh, why you're doing so well. And every time I come back, I'm like, so what happened? What changed? It's not me. It's probably those other people that felt that they just didn't they couldn't work with me, because I even began to doubt myself. But this other lady was just encouraging me, and every time I would go back to her for feedback, she said, "Oh, you are doing so well." Well, I said, "Well, okay, I'm here now." I felt that, oh yeah, I can do this thing. So I was down, but this other person lifted me, and I was able to scale through. Yeah, so there will be always moments like that, that you will doubt yourself. Other people will doubt your ability, but then who knows? But you just have to keep at it, because you couldn't have made it this far for you to just drop it.
Yeah.
You just have to keep at it, keep working towards your goal, and you will get it done.
Yeah.
Okay, before you leave that question, I want you to add something on top of. Usually, when we all pass through this kind of stages, like Josh was saying about the issue of hindsight, after a few years that you've passed through a particular stage, you think back and you know that if I know what I know now, I would have done this at that time. So, what are those moments for you? Maybe like two examples of things you would have done differently if if you knew what you know now at that time.
Yeah.
And then second,
During your first
Hmm.
practicum.
no, I mean the entire journey, the entire education journey for your nursing program, maybe in choosing the program itself, going through the program, the things that you did during the program. So what are some of those things that you would have done differently if you know what you know now? And secondly, what were some mistakes that you probably made that if you knew better, you wouldn't have made them?
Um, I think one of the things I would have done was to continue in, well, like I said to Joash, never say never. You don't say you can. You are not. You don't think you're writing. You'll be writing another exam soon. I feel if I had continued since, when did I finish? I finished in 2019. If I had continued, I would have still continued to get more professional certifications in nursing. I wouldn't have stopped. But right now, as you are at the time, within that time, I mean, from the time I graduated till now, of course, I'm not any younger, so maybe that's one thing I wish I had continued, so that I can specialize, because now I still have to do bedside nursing, which can be quite tedious, which can be quite demanding.
Mm.
So that is the part. And like I was telling Joash now, never say never. Who knows? Maybe I'll still go back to school if the opportunity comes my way. So once you start school, just don't stop until you get to the, well, I don't know, this they say the sky is the limit. Just keep going. Don't wait, keep going, so that you have more options. Because right now I feel my options are a bit limited to just bedside bedside nursing. Okay, so that's the only thing. I then also uh hmm, what else? What else can I say? If I look back and I things that I've done differently. Hmm,
So in your first practicum,
I
Lara, you mentioned it was quite difficult, right? And so, what would you have done
yeah,
differently
my
that one
last one. All I have done differently.
for that one? Yeah.
Ah, what I have done differently. Yeah, maybe if I had paid more attention, maybe who knows? But I don't think I didn't pay attention. But who knows? Maybe the expectation was high. But I think well, because the next preceptor had actually had encouraged me and kept telling me that yes, I was doing great. So I think they had a problem, not me. But maybe if I had paid more attention, who knows? Maybe if I had complied or had been more serious, who knows? Yeah, so there's always opportunity to be better in everything you're doing. Maybe if I had given me my 100%, who knows? Yeah, so but there are no regret. Everything just adds up.
Mm,
By the time I mean, I failed in a particular situation, it doesn't mean that I'm the worst at that. Like I just picked up and I started running again, and I was able to do it.
yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. Those are some of the most challenging moments that you've been through, and certainly a lot of gold nuggets to pick up from, to learn from, and yeah, appreciate your sharing there. Um,
Yes.
and you have been a nurse in Canada now for about a decade right now. Like,
Yes.
and I know being trained as a lawyer, in a bar, it's starkly different from nursing, right? But maybe I'm very deeply influenced by my dad. My dad has a saying that whatever that you learn, it's in your pocket. It's yours to keep, and nobody can take that away. Is there any way that your
Mhm.
legal training from the law school was actually become helpful in your nursing career, in your nursing profession?
Yeah, thank you. I will say that everything adds up. Everything, our career path, our life experiences, all adds up to whatever we become in life. So in nursing, there is something we call advocacy, even for our residents, our patients, our clients. So we are encouraged to advocate for the people we take care of.
Mm,
What are their needs? You have to speak up for them because the doctors will come in, they'll just come, they barely spend 5 minutes with each of these residents, these patients, but you are the one that is there, you see them more, you know what their needs are.
mm,
So you're able to speak up and you know what this person needs this. So I feel that that is part of what being a lawyer is helping me to do. You're able to speak up even though you might not know as much as the medical doctors,
mm,
but you have the opportunity to pick up and you know what this is the person needs. This is why I'd like you to take a look at this, and that is what's been part of being a lawyer. Then also ability to write. Because even now you see some people who write because we do a lot of documentation. You're like, okay, this is what this person is writing, but you have been trained to write properly, so like I can do better. I can make communication easier. I can speak up. I can, write better than some people, which is part of what I've learned. So everything adds up. Even your age, everything adds up to make you a better person. So nothing is wasted. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. I think that was really fantastically put, right? I feel like whatever learning in life, it adds up, and it's gonna help you whatever career that is. There are bound to be skills that you pick up along the way that will help you do a little bit better than any other people in your career, and sometimes that gives you a bit of an edge as well. Yeah.
Hmm.
And so thank you so much for sharing that, and encouraging us. Um, in that regard.
Yeah.
Would Dr. Busaidi wants to take over the next part uh, of what
Okay.
we're talking about?
Thank you very much. We are rounding up gradually. So I think what we want you to speak to at this time will be looking back on the non-linear path that your career are taking. I mean, like it's like going from one end to another end. So what will you say to someone who feels that, oh, they've wasted time in the wrong career and all that? Yeah,
Mm.
because many people have this kind of experience where you end up going from one end to another end. What's your word to people who think it's a waste of time?
Mm. I would say that there's nothing wasted. One, and where you are at right now, you can pick up and pick up, look at what the options are out there, and you just channel your path towards what you enjoy. I personally like taking care of people. It comes naturally for me. Recently, I was just thinking, of my the kind of heart that I have. I'm like, oh God, I really like to care for people. And I'm like, okay, maybe that is why I'm here. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So channel what gives you so much joy and pleasure, to what you want to do next. Yes, you're already here where you are, you're struggling. You're struggling with where you are at the moment. But then look inward. What do you really enjoy it and focus on it? And if you have to get a certification in that area, get up and do it. It may cost you some money, but you just never know. Read more about what you like to do. Ask questions. Associate with people that are already doing it. Then you learn more. Maybe you even learn from them first before okay, it's something I like to really do. And maybe where you are at, maybe it's what's one aspect that you're supposed to concentrate on. So I will encourage that person that, what, is not, you can't say, oh, that's it. You can't keep struggling and be unhappy. Be Do what you enjoy. Do what makes you smile. I go to work and I'm always happy, being in that environment. That is what I will say. So what makes you smile? What makes you happy? At the end of the day, you look back, oh yeah, I touched this person's life. And for me, when I'm done with one of the patients and they say thank you, I feel that, oh, my day is accomplished. Oh, my day has gone well. Yeah.
Yeah, I just to interrupt a bit. It just sounds like finding a purpose in the work that you're doing. It's really crucial to you, right? And how do you define your own purpose, and how can other people be able to find their purpose in the things that they do?
Hmm. Like I said, my purpose, well, I'm still trying to find it. I'm still trying. I think that's a very big well, each time people say, what's your purpose? I'm like, okay, but part of your purpose and my purpose is enjoying what are those things that you enjoy doing, and you
Mm,
see how you find purpose in them. Like I said, when I've cared for somebody and I put a smile on that person's face, and that person, I leave that person better than that I find the person, I feel that's one purpose of my life accomplished. It doesn't mean I found it all. It doesn't mean I'm all there. No. But it means at least I'm on the journey towards reaching my purpose, finding my purpose. And I will have to
mm,
keep at it. So for you to find your purpose, you have to look inwards. What are those things that you do easily, that comes easy with you? And have to keep encouraging yourself, because sometimes it's a thankless job. You are even doing, nobody even appreciates you. Nobody is saying thank you, like like I just said. But then you know that you have left this person better, you have left this situation better than you met it. Then keep at
yeah.
it, and be rewarding, for you. At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you.
Mm. Yeah, I appreciate that you say that some of this work is feels thankless. because finding your purpose, it's not a constant 100% every minute. You will feel like your purpose being accomplished. I mean, work itself usually includes a lot of things that you don't enjoy doing. It's super tedious, repetitive and boring. But then all this
mm,
work will build up to fulfilling that purpose that you find at your work, right? And as somebody who has been who is in a career uh, that um, yeah, that fulfilling of purpose just makes all this tedious work just worthwhile. And so finding it and realizing it and appreciating it's so key in motivating yourself to continue on your career. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Incidentally, this morning I was listening to a podcast and it was talking about the word ikigai. It said it's a Japanese word that means purpose, and he had a long explanation about how the things you enjoy doing, plus the things that you love, plus the things that people will pay you for, and the things that helps you to reach out to others, that all of this comes together in a Venn diagram that helps you to identify where your purpose is, where these
mm,
four things connect. And
mm,
I mean, it's just simply the way you put it, something that you do, even if nobody is going to pay, you are still happy to do it.
Mm,
Not everybody enjoys the same thing. So, and I think
mm,
where I'm taking that is the fact that we're talking about adults starting over, adults, making career changes very late. Some people will rather die in something that they don't enjoy because they
yes,
lack the courage to step
mm,
out and take that drastic step to restart. So I think the question will take me to almost our penultimate one, which is what are the mindset shifts or practical steps that can help people to take this kind of bold steps? What do people need? How can people prepare for this kind of thing? Because yes, we can say it's complicated. It's very complicated, but what are the key things that people can look into that can help them to get the courage to make this kind of bold shifts?
mm. I will. For me, I will always say, you know what? If there's a need and I'm there, first I want to step up. I want to be able to do it, even if I have no clue. So the first thing for anyone is just stand up, start the journey, even if you don't even know where it's taking you. It's something you want to do, but but the first thing, even if it doesn't look like nothing is look as if it's going to come up together, it doesn't matter. The first important thing is for you to get up and just stand up, put your leg in the door. Then the rest will follow.
mm,
Then along the path, you will find people that will encourage you. So that I feel is the first thing, to stand, I mean, to get to where you're supposed to be. So I like we always say here, this is probably my third life. Okay, in Canada, maybe I've lived my first life in Nigeria. This is my second life. So heck, what I mean, there's nothing that I've not seen. There's nothing that life will throw I mean, at me now that I cannot, because I've enjoyed that part of the life. So okay, this one, please don't just ruffle my feathers. Okay, so that's why how I'm taking it one step at a time. So don't look down on yourself. Keep at it. Don't think you cannot do it. Just get up there and do what you have to do. Make sure you get to that level where you look back and oh yeah, it's a great thing that I did. And don't regret anything. Like I said earlier on, everything adds up. Everything adds up. You have that thing. It's in you. It's in you to be able to do it. You know, to get to where you're supposed to be. So don't be discouraged, and you will get there.
yeah.
Thank you.
Was there any like fallback plan that you made while you are pursuing your nursing, right? when you're making
So
that change, right? Was there any fallback plan of such?
I didn't have any fallback plan. I just knew I had to succeed at this because everybody was. I had a lot of people cheering me on already. So why would I go back there and tell them no? I didn't have any fallback plan. Yeah, that nursing or nursing. But if you ask me today, do I still want to do something else? Oh yeah, I'm open to it. I'm
Okay.
open to it. I really don't mind continuing on that journey or something maybe that will help me, find that purpose. Maybe Bosse can send me that podcast that
Oh, yeah, I
that
will
is talk.
definitely send you that. And I'm already thinking nursing law for you. Maybe you
Yes,
want to do
there
that.
are opportunities like that you can
Yeah,
actually do, and you can marry both of them together. Even I mean,
exactly.
now other people have been seeing it online, but maybe it's not available here in Canada yet.
I'm sure
But there
it's
are
so.
things like that that can, yeah, that can actually bring both together. So fallback plan
Arrows
for me,
will help
no.
you find that. I said
Yeah.
arrows will help you to find that, and then you'll be
Yes.
starting next year.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay. So,
to our final question here is okay, so you have addressed maybe middle-aged people who are trying to restart. Now, for young people, there is always this dilemma: is am I supposed to do this, or should I do this? Should I do engineering, or should I go for law, or should I read medicine, or should I go for computer science? They are so confused that at the end of the day, they don't even know what to do because they
yeah.
are afraid that if they take one step and then they might end up wasting 4 years and before they
Yeah.
discover, oh, I've done the wrong thing. For such people, what's your word of encouragement?
Number one, I'll say I don't envy the that generation. I do not envy them right now. They have a lot to contend with, and I also say that there's nothing wasted. And I also encourage them to put one step instead of wasting time trying to, oh, okay, what am I supposed to do? Just start something. Start something that you know you can complete. That's what I would say. Start something, then along the journey you will find out, oh, okay, I think I like this area. I think, oh, this is helping me to speak in front of people. Oh, this is helping me develop this inner thing in me. So you just begin to find yourself in different areas of your life, as time goes on. But don't waste time. So whatever it is that you're doing right now is not wasted. It's a good thing to have an education. Education is
Mm.
very, very important. Even though the society right now is telling us no, because you make money outside, than without school, than when you go to school. Yeah, some people are, but there's always, I believe, there's always a difference. You have this boldness, you have this air, this chip on your shoulder that, oh yeah, I can, I've been there, I've done that before, I know what it is to actually analyze, so there's a lot that education offers you, that well, maybe you can pick it up, I don't know, in the more difficult terrains, but there's a lot that education offers you. So like I said, put your leg in the door, don't look back, be there. With time you'll find your purpose, you'll find your strength, you find that, oh, you are really good at this and not in this area. That's what I'll tell them.
Thank you so very much. I think if we have any question from the audience, this will be time to take it. So, Technica, any question?
I don't see any question from the audience online. Um, yeah.
Okay. So, if there are no questions, that brings us to the end of our conversation today. And we want to thank you so very much for sharing that experience. And we are hoping that some people are listening, some young people, it's helping them to make a decision. There's no point waiting until the situation is perfect. I think it's
Mm.
even in the scriptures that if you observe the wind, you will not sow. So you can't wait for a perfect situation because it will never be perfect, and that means you will never do anything. So step out in that imperfect situation, start going, and on your way, you're going to
Mm.
find out what your purpose is, and you can always get into it. I've seen too many people who studied medicine and became maybe lawyers at the end of the day. They planned to
Yeah,
be nurses, they ended up as teachers. People like us too, who studied law and ended up as nurses. I studied chemistry, got a master's, and now I'm a teacher in education. So all of those things will add up at the end of the day, like she said. So it's a good thing that we just start where you are. Start where you are, and then you can start moving forward. On the way, you'll pick up whatever else is missing, and then you can put it back together. Thank you so much for your time. Over to you, Josh.
Yeah, this is exactly what Arrow's education exists for. We help you navigate through some of these life changes as well. I think personally the I really believe in the mission of Arrow's education, which is to help our clients to realize their dreams, no matter what age they are, whether you are right now mid career or even you're just graduated from your middle school and then trying to look for a direction in the future. We are excited to help you all answer some of those difficult questions. So don't hesitate to follow us on our social media. Reach out to us on our inboxes, or just contact us on our WhatsApp number. We will have a consultant reach out to you as soon as possible, and we will try to work through this together and help you realize your dream. So, with that ends this live stream today on Professional Roundtable with more exciting topics coming up next. And so, stay tuned and follow us on YouTube and on all our live stream platforms as well. And so, we'll see you in the next Professional